What's up, guys? It's Andy, and if you can't tell by the title of this video, we are on part 3 of the Finding My First Horse series, which I'm really excited about because I have some exciting news to share. I did buy a horse. I did the thing that you're not supposed to do as a first-time horse buyer. I bought off of video and vet records and out of state without trying him. But I just had this feeling, I don't know how to describe it, like I'm pretty empathic, and just like looking at his videos and pictures, like it felt a certain way. So I'm like, all right, like I want to move on this. So this video, part 3, is going to be the struggles after having purchased said horse, as far as getting it here, and then also introducing you to my new guy. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. Okay, so first I want to go over the struggles of getting this horse here. So he was in West Virginia, I'm in Wisconsin, so it's about a 12-hour drive by car, a little bit longer for a horse trailer. And I joined a couple of Facebook groups of horse transportation in the US, and someone reached out to me. They're like, you know, we'll do it for $800. We can pick up on July 6th, and then we'll drive overnight and drop him off on July 7th in the morning. And I was like, okay, that'll work. All the other places that I had talked to quoted me like double the price. I'm not opposed to using individual transporters. So, sorry, my rabbit is like being a nightmare today. Hey, stop it. Thank you. Anyways, so other transporters had quoted me like twice the price for the same distance plus tolls, and like it was just insane. So I went with this person, and my trainers used him before. Great. I'm not going to mention names or anything because it's shit happens, but he was on his way to West Virginia from Wisconsin to go pick up the horse, and his axle on his trailer broke. Now, obviously, no one can control stuff like that, right? But what made me angry was that there was no backup trailer. There was no other transporter that he was like associates with that he could send out. And the part for his trailer wasn't coming for 3 weeks. I'm like, well, that's not acceptable. I need to find another, transporter. And I'm in Home Depot at this point, right? I got a house. We talked about this. I'm looking for appliances, washer, dryer, refrigerator, and I'm just in the middle of the Home Depot swearing and ready to throw my phone at the ground. And it was just horrible. He sent me pictures to show me like, yes, it is actually broken. He didn't get very far outside of Wisconsin and had to turn around. So I immediately dropped everything I was doing, came back home, rejoined all of the groups that I had literally just left because all of this was set up so I didn't need to be a part of these groups anymore. And luckily I had a transportation company called Cold Creek Equine Transportation. They are a husband and wife team out of Alabama, and it's nothing special, right? It's just a 6-horse trailer, side load, keeps them pretty tight and contained, but they have hay and water the entire trip. And they were reasonably priced, just a little bit more than the other guy who did my transportation quote originally. And they were really nice people. So I got them set. They're like, look, we're already doing this route. We could swing over to West Virginia and add it in because we're coming up to Wisconsin from Mississippi. And, this is what it would cost. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. And they said, we'd pick up on Friday morning, and then we would drop off Saturday. And my trainer is at a horse show this weekend, and she was very type A about not being happy that the horse was now coming on a show weekend, which I understand to a certain extent. But again, certain things are out of my control, and I should not be liable or punishable for the things that I cannot control. So she approved the horse coming Saturday. Initially said has to be during business hours, which is 9 to 5 on Saturdays, but they weren't going to be able to make that work. I assumed they either had other drop-offs or they had an overnight layover. So she gave them till 10 p.m. Saturday. So come yesterday, Friday, everything's going fine. Horse gets picked up. We had a bit of an issue with the seller because they wanted to pick up at 5 a.m. She didn't want them to pick up till 7. I just had her stall him overnight, and she was kind of on me about, well, he's not used to being stalled at night, so he's not going to drink water, and then he's going to be on a trailer all day, and he's not going to drink, he's not going to eat, he's going to colic. So again, just like, I don't need it. I don't need it. Like, try and help me. I'm trying to learn. I'm worried. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. Don't make it worse. That's one thing. If you're going to sell a horse or you're a trainer, do not put all of that on the new to be owner, right? We need help, okay? I've been very open about being anxious and needing help and doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I've still just been having my ass handed to me all week from all sides, and I'm ready to crack. I'm ready to crack. It's not been enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. So come Friday, horse gets picked up. I finish my deposit upon pickup as required per the contract. They send me a link to the Wi-Fi live stream of the trailer so I can watch him throughout the day and kind of see what he's doing. He had a little buddy on there named Dash, who was a pig, and they got very close very quickly. When he got dropped off, they were very sad and calling to each other because they love each other. And Dash is also going somewhere in Wisconsin. I don't know where, like south central Wisconsin, I guess. So anyways, come about 3:30, I get a message from the transporters, and they're like, we're stuck on I-90. I'm not sure we're going to make it by 10 p.m. tonight. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. It's Friday. You told me 10 p.m. Saturday. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I sent them a screenshot of where they said 10 p.m. Saturday. And the lady calls me, and she was so nice and so apologetic. She's like, I am so sorry. I usually don't make mistakes like this. And I told her, I was like, no, I'm sorry. I mean, I thought maybe you had an overnight layover or some other stops. I didn't really know what your route was. So I figured that this was just normal, that it would take, 36 hours to get him here if there were other stops on the way and stopping for water and hay. So we were just both apologizing profusely to each other. And I knew the minute I had to tell my trainer that the horse was coming last night and not tonight, Saturday, I was going to just get my ass handed to me again. And I did. She did it because she, quote, did not have a choice, and she was not going to make the horse stay on a layover because they were so nice to offer to do an overnight layover and then come this morning at 9 o'clock. And I really didn't want him to be on the trailer that long, but whatever was going to work at this point, because I'm trying to be flexible, right? I'm trying to do my best. And I'm just sitting in this room that's on fire, and I'm fine, and it's great. Everything's great. So we got it arranged, and they hauled ass to get there by 9 o'clock, which I was really impressed with. They didn't want it to be too late, but then my trainer, the show's local, right? It's just up the road about 10 minutes. So in my mind, not a huge deal. I understand it's stressful because the stall's not ready, the feed wasn't prepared, got to get water buckets and stuff. She has to be there to intercept the horse. But also, like, there's not much left to do at a schooling show at 9 o'clock at night. So I can see it from both sides, but I'm just angry at everybody because I'm stuck in the middle of this burning hellhole that is this situation, right? So they start messaging her when they're in Illinois, a couple hours out, keeping her really updated. And of course, today I got scolded for her supposedly not being the primary contact, even though I did put her as the primary contact on the contract for transport. And I did tell them, like, you need to be in contact with her a lot because she's very type A, so she needs to be able to plan. And I guess they didn't really hold up that on their end, which I personally don't care about, but my trainer was really upset. And she let them know that with some text messages that were aggressive in my opinion, and I now felt the need to have to apologize on behalf of my trainer to these transporters who were very nice people, and it was an honest mistake. And like, what do you do in that situation? You know, like, what can you do? If you're a person who has zero flexibility in your life, like, generally that is me, but I'm learning that you have to roll with the punches a little bit. You can't be that way. Life doesn't happen that way, right? We've already seen at this point this week how much stuff can go wrong, and it's just, you gotta just eventually laugh. You gotta laugh and be like, okay, throw it at me, like, what's next? You just have to let it go. So he comes, he's crying for his friend Dash on the trailer, but he starts eating right away. He's settled in. I had previously gone and cleaned out all the cobwebs for his stall, and I got his fly spray out there. And then he was turned out this morning. A little spooky being in a new environment, but all the horses are so interested in him. He and my friend Dana's horse were like eyeing each other up because they want to be besties, and I'm really excited about that. I hope they get to be pasture pals once he settles in. And yeah, so now I'm going to introduce you to my new horse. Okay, so my new horse, his name is Gideon, like from Criminal Minds, because Gideon is wise and knowledgeable, and people tend to like him, and he's creative. And I thought that was a fitting name. It's kind of unusual. I'm tired of seeing horses named Finn or Wellington or anything named after a rifle company, pretty much. So I thought Gideon was a great name, and it fits for him. I don't know. I'll insert some video and some pictures of him. He is a dark buckskin thoroughbred cross. He is 6 years old. I don't know anything about his history. He was with the seller since last year for, a time, I think less than a year. But he currently has front shoes. They will be coming off. The seller only put them on for the purposes of making sure he would be sound with no stone bruises, because he was living in a 45-acre pasture with a herd of horses. So she didn't want him to have any foot injuries in case anyone wanted to come out and try him. But that's a good sign that he can keep shoes on while living in a 45-acre pasture. So I will probably be taking those off. I prefer barefoot horses. Like, I'm not going to the A circuit traveling around the country anytime soon, so I don't really think shoes are necessary for him. And his seller said that he has, quote, kick-ass feet, so he should be fine without shoes. She said we could probably just pull them off. He is due for the farrier. He has been jumping 2.3 to 2.9 variably, a couple 3-foot fences here and there over the course of the last year. He is a $15,000 horse that sold for $5,000 because he is crooked. They don't know if he was just born that way, if he had an injury that didn't heal correctly, but basically I'll put a picture here. When you look at his spine, you can see where it shifts. His left hip is higher than the right. He has never seen a chiropractor, and I think that's going to be a big help over the course of time. So for a couple months in a row, I'm going to have our local horse chiropractor come out and adjust him. I already have an appointment for July 24th to get him looked at. I do have the vet coming on Tuesday as well to just kind of give him a wellness and lameness check. He did have a health certificate before being transported, which that was also... I'm going to have to make story times about this, because honestly, I don't know how to just fit this all in one video. There's just so much stuff that went wrong. But I did get a health certificate, and he did come with a negative Coggin, so I could transport him over state lines. And so from a health standpoint, he is healthy. He has reared supposedly with a rider in the past, but it's not like a frequent reoccurring thing, and it's more of he just kind of pounds his feet on the ground when he doesn't want to move forward, which they think is stemming from him being uncomfortable. They did take spinal x-rays. He has a great spine. There is no signs of vertebral touching or kissing spine or anything being genetically, conformationally wrong with his spine. So that's good because that's usually the stem of all the issues. So I'm hoping with some chiropractic work and building up good muscle that he will end up being the perfect horse to take me to 3 foot. And he's young too, so I'm not trying to, run him into the ground. We do only jump 1 day a week in lessons. Everything else will be flat work, pole work, and ground work. So I'm pretty excited about that. He apparently loves attention on the ground and loves being groomed and all that. I will have to train him to be clipped because he's never been clipped before, but I've done that with plenty of horses, so it's not that big of a deal. And I'm trying to think what else. I think that's all I really have about him. So I actually haven't met him. At this point in time of filming, I've not met him yet. So I'm about to head out to the barn to meet him for the first time. And Paul has a bike race today. We're going to Madison, so I don't have a lot of time. And he's also doing his warm-up ride right now, so he won't be coming with me to the barn. But I will try and film as much as I can and insert video wherever I can. And I'm just really excited to share him with you guys. Oh, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? If you've been with my channel since the start, I've been doing this for 3 years. I don't have all of the videos posted that I've done in the past 3 years because I try to make my channel safe and anonymous for people mentioned and anything like that. So I have removed some content over the years. You'll know if we've been together for the last 3 years that I've been waiting for my own horse since, God, I've got to have been, I always say I've been riding for 18 years, but it's got to be more than that by now. I'm 17. No, oh my gosh. I'm turning 27 this year. I'm not 17. So I have been waiting for a horse for probably 20 years since I started. So I'm really excited to bring you guys along. So let's go out and head out to meet Gideon for the very first time. I'm gonna crap my pants. I'm so excited. There he is. Gideon! Hi, buddy. Oh my goodness. Hello, handsome boy. Hello. Hi. Hello. I brought you something. Aww. Oh my gosh, I love him. Okay, so I didn't get much video. Gideon's pretty wild and upset right now. To go from a 45-acre pasture with a herd of horses to being by yourself in a round pen until you settle down isn't really working for him. He went out a couple hours this morning and now he's back inside with a friend. He was just working himself up to a sweat. He was really worked up about some of the horses leaving for lessons, and he just really needs to chill a little bit. So we're letting him kind of calm himself down in his stall, and I'm not sure if he'll go back out today or not. I did take him into the indoor, and we just free lunged and did some liberty work, and he was great. He was fine then. Once I had the lead on him and was trying to show him new things, he was pretty stressed out. I'm probably gonna have to get a lead rope with a chain, just because I don't know. He's strong. He's a decent sized horse and he's strong, and it's hard for me to get him to focus on me when he's so wild. But he's cute and he's loving, and I'm sure he will make a great horse once he settles in. Tomorrow I'll probably come out and lunge him in the outdoor, get him used to the stuff in the outdoor. Hopefully we can put him in a pasture with a friend soon, because I think he'll behave a lot better. I did not cross tie him today. I was not willing to test the gods and break shit on the first day. So I gave him some ulcer guard. He had an apple. I brushed him and put some fly spray on him. He did cut his leg. Well, he didn't cut his leg. He more skinned himself in the trailer. So I got that covered and treated. So it's been a long morning. I'm trying to just settle my nerves and remember he's not always going to be this way. It's the first day. I got to let him settle in. So I didn't want to do too much today. and I'm sure there will be plenty to come, so stay tuned. See you in the next one.